All right.
All right. We're back here, the baseline, episode 12. Our guy, Ricky Lindo.
What's up? How you guys doing? Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We're
Thanks
happy
for
to have
coming.
you. Thank you for coming in.
Yeah.
This has been a great season so far. We're on a roll, and we're loving it. It's been awesome. Just kind of like to start with our goal, what we do in this show is we want to have players come in, American players, European players. We want to hear their story. You know, every ball player has a different story. A lot of them represent their country like you do, and are able to play in all kinds of tournaments and stages. But really, it's the story of where you started playing ball and how that has taken this massive, how it's changed your life and how it has led you to where you are today and the ups and downs. We know every player is so different. So we're excited to get into it. First of all, thank you for coming. And how are you feeling? How's everything's going this season? And maybe introduce yourself just a little bit for our listeners.
Well, name's Ricky Lindo. So as I was introduced earlier, a little bit about myself. What don't you guys already know?
Tell us anything. Where you're from?
I'm from Washington D.C., United States capital. 2 younger brothers. Parents still live together at home. They're taking care of them right now. One of them is actually in college, Georgetown, first year. Second one, the youngest one is actually second year in high school, so getting old.
Yeah, for real.
Getting up there in age. And you said earlier, representing my country for my parents are Panamanian, so I was able to get the dual citizenship. I was born in D.C., but they were both born in Panama. We were able to then move over when they had me, and then been able to get that dual citizenship. Been playing with Panama since I want to say junior summer, going into my senior year of high school.
Oh, wow.
So I've been playing with them since I think that's when I want to say under 17. So I've been playing with them since then, and then I think I took a few years of not playing with them. First couple years of college, just wanted to make sure I was acclimated with the college life, college system. So I took a break from Panama in the summers, and then I came back to them. They offered me to play with the national team, the real team, like the big dogs. And my junior year of college, and I accepted. Played good, played decent, got my name out there. It was really good for me. Good to get that experience with pro players. Obviously, I didn't get paid. Obviously, that was before the NIL era. So I didn't get paid. So I was able to go back to college, played again the next summer, and I've been playing with them ever since. So here I am.
Yeah,
very cool.
Again. Played with them this past November. About to play with them again in February next month. So getting ready for that.
Let's go.
Best of luck there.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So let's take it way back. Go back to high school.
Okay.
I actually just came across a YouTube video, like a little docu-series that they've been doing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. So they were talking about how you were going to go to prep school,
Oh, yeah.
and then you, from like sophomore to junior year, you grew like 4 or 5 inches, right? And you were like 6'8", going into senior year, had a crazy season.
Yeah.
And then you decided to ditch the prep school route and ended up committing to Maryland.
So do you want the prep school story or the...
We want all the stories,
We want it all.
So, all right, I'm going to start with the high school story. So, going into high school, went to a D.C. public school, Wilson. They changed the name now, it's Jackson Reed, but I graduated from Woodrow Wilson High School. Went there, enrolled. I was about like 6 feet. I don't know. I can't convert that to centimeters.
No,
we don't do that.
Y'all don't do that? Okay, all right, good, cool. So I was about 6 feet, probably like 5'11", 6 feet. I was playing freshman basketball. My high school had freshman basketball team, JV, and varsity. I was on the freshman team. So I was 6 feet, wasn't a big. So they was like, all right, we're gonna develop your guard skills. I guess that's where my guard skills come from now. And then did okay. I was more of a shooter back then. I don't know what happened. Maybe lost that with the height. But that summer after my freshman year, I grew like 6 inches.
Wow.
So I grew 6 inches. I don't know how. I just remember going into school, like probably like the first week of school. I'm walking in the hallway. The head coach of the varsity team like walks up to me. He's like, "Yo, Ricky." I was like, "Yeah, that's me."
Had to double check.
Yeah, I was like, "What happened this summer? When did you get this tall?" I was like, "I don't know." And then he was like, all right, come to practice after school. I was like, I was already going to practice, but that's cool. And I was like, he means varsity. I was like, oh, all right. I was on JV, so I was thinking, all right, I was already going to practice, JV practice, so what are you talking about? Then he was talking about JV, so I was like, oh, he put me on JV that whole sophomore year. And I mean, no, not JV, varsity. My bad. Put me on varsity. I think that's where I got a lot of my exposure from. I got exposed to big boy basketball of high school at the time. At that time, DC basketball was really big. Public schools had a lot of great players at the time. Private schools are going crazy, obviously. I don't know if you guys know, but like Gonzaga, the Matha, St. John's, Paul VI, all a bunch of schools that produce high prospects at college. A lot of those players go to Duke. A lot of like 3 of them just went to Duke for like past 3 years from Paul VI. And then so I was able to play against those guys, got more confidence, and then junior year is when I really found my groove and really started playing. Got my first offer. I will never forget. It was Canisius College, my first college offer. I'll never forget them. They came into the gym one day after school. Coach told me to come work out.
Which division was that?
That was Division 1.
Division 1.
Division
Okay.
1, yeah. Canisius Division 1. They came into the gym. I think I don't remember the workout specifically now that I'm getting older, but I just remember I was dunking everything. I remember the coach just told me, Joe, just dunk everything. We're gonna make you look good, but you just have to dunk everything. I was like, all right, fine.
Still doing it today.
Yeah, I think I carried that on till now, to today. So I'll thank him for that till the day I die. So he was like, just dunk everything. And Canisius coach was greatly impressed, and he gave me an offer that day. I was super excited. I remember calling my dad, calling my mom, telling them how super excited I was. I think my dad had told me like a week before, like a couple months before, like, if you get a college offer, I'll buy you a car.
Woof.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Let's go.
Big promise, but I didn't get that car until like 3 years later. But
That's how it goes with parents and promising shit.
I still got it though. But yeah, so I got my first offer. I remember that night I just told my assistant coach, he was working me out every day, T. He's actually the head coach of Jackson Reed right now. Just got his 100th win. Shout out to T. And we just went to the gym. He had to close the gym up because it was like, it's a public school, so we don't have access to it like 24/7. So he was like, let's go to the outdoor park. I just wanted to play basketball. I just wanted to keep getting better. And ever since then, I just been in the gym with him. I just stayed at gym. I just like being in the gym. And yeah, so.
When did you think about going to prep school? When did that switch to go to Maryland?
So I was thinking about going to prep school my senior year of high school. How did that go exactly? Okay, yeah. So I was going to go to prep school. I was first committed to Harvard. I was going to go to Harvard. I got like all the Ivy League schools my junior year. So I was committed to Harvard at first, but something happened where academics didn't accept me. So I had to go to prep school. It was prep school that Harvard recommended, blah, blah, all that stuff. So but I did go to like a few visits to a few prep schools. Went to Mount Verde. Where else did I go? I think I went to Northfield, Mount Herman. I went to Mount Verde. Those are like the few I can remember. I think I had calls from like Huntington Prep. But so I did that. So with that in mind, I already like enrolled. They already sent me like all my books and stuff, my dorm assignments and all that stuff. So I was playing AAU that my senior summer with DC Premier in the Under Armour circuit, and that summer I like killed. We won Under Armour circuit. We won Fab 48. We were like one of the best teams defensively in the country. And that was the same year that Takeover, another DC team in the Nike EYBL, won the EYBL as well. So that's when like the DMV area was known as like one of the best areas for basketball. So I got a lot of offers. Maryland offered me right there. I remember. You want the story?
Yeah, give
on.
it to us.
So it was the last day of AAU. We had just won a championship. We were in Vegas too, so we were just walking the strip. Mind you, we're like 16, 17-year-olds in Las Vegas after winning a championship. Just not able to do anything in Vegas. Just walk around the strip. It's hot.
You can look. That's what
Just
you can
look. Just look. It's hot. You're sweating, and then but we're 16. We're just happy we won. Everybody's getting calls. Everybody's getting offers. And I remember we're about to go back to the airport to go fly back to DC. And we're all in our coach's hotel, like his hotel. And I think we checked out our hotel room, but he had late checkout. So we went to his hotel room, and we were all just tired, so we all just slept in the hallway. I remember I slept in the hallway, I got comfortable, and my phone rang, but I was like too deep into sleep, so I missed the first 2 calls. And I woke up. It was a call from an assistant coach in Maryland, what's his name, Brodus. He called me, coach. He's a head coach at Morgan State right now. The Brodus, he was a recruiter who was recruiting me throughout that whole process. He was calling me, he's like, yo, Rick, well, what are you doing? I was like, I'm just waiting to go to the airport. He's like, Mark Turgeon, he's the head coach in Maryland at the time, that called you like twice. I was like, oh, shoot, let me call him right back. So I called him. Mark Turgeon immediately offered me right there. He's like, yo, Ricky, I know you reclassified for 2019. We would love to have you here now, 2018. We'd like to come. We want you to come on an official visit like this following Tuesday. Whatever we need to do to make this happen, let us know. So I'm like, all right, cool. I called my dad right after. I was like, Dad, they offered me, they want me to come, but this year though, so that means no prep school. He was like, and they also want me to come on an official visit. It was like, we live 30 minutes away. We don't need an official visit. You don't need to stay in a hotel. It's like, all right, fine. Let's see what they have to say. So we went that same Tuesday, actually. And they had, like, I don't know what it was, but, like, they had, like, the best marketing I've ever seen. I don't know if I was, like, 16, didn't know any better, but I loved it there. I saw that I could play right away, and I committed probably, like, that same Friday at the end of the week. Talked it over with my parents, talked it over with my head coach at high school, AAU coach, and decided, like, yeah, let's do it. And then just committed to Maryland. Never went to prep school. They were a bit mad about that, but nothing I could do about it now. And then here I am now,
Yeah, is that the kind of one of the big dogs in the area? Like, if you're playing in that DMV area, what are the big schools that if guys get an offer from there, they're like, it's automatic, and you live so close to it. So was Maryland one that you were looking out for?
Yes. It was really Georgetown. I'm gonna be honest. Georgetown was my dream school since I was like a little kid. So like it was Georgetown. Obviously, you guys know Georgetown's history. Allen Iverson, Patrick Ewing, so like they're like an historic. Like they haven't been doing so good recently, but
your brother will pick them up.
We'll see. We'll see. But like they're doing good this year. But I think they just beat Villanova by 1.
Okay.
So they're doing good this year, but. I wanted that offer so bad, but Maryland was just on it. They were on it. Maryland was like a close second because when I was growing up, Maryland was winning. 2002, they won a national championship. They had a bunch of players. Like I don't know if you guys know Melo Trimble. He's a great overseas guy right now. He's I want to say Russia. Melo Trimble, great point guard, a great college point guard. Anthony Cowan, he's in Lithuania playing BCL. And so I like grew up knowing these guys. I played against Anthony Cowan in high school. And it's funny because he later became my point guard in college. And so, yeah, like Maryland, Georgetown. We have Virginia, which is a bit more down south. It's like an hour away from D.C., but those are like the top schools. George Washington, Americans in there. I think I'm probably missing one more school.
Yeah, but good basketball in that area.
Yeah,
we've heard from a lot of our guests.
Howard University's doing good, too, yeah.
And you ended up having it's a bit going out of order, but you ended up going to George Washington University, and you had 19 points and 9 rebounds against Howard.
Yeah, against Howard. Yeah, it was the week that game was during the week where like all the DMV teams, all the DC teams played each other. So I think American had just beat Georgetown at Georgetown, and I think American had just beat Howard. So it was like now we got to see who's the best team in DC. So we ended up beating Howard. And then we played American like a week later. American beat us. So they got the best of us that year. So American was like the best team in the DMV that year. Maryland, for some reason, they don't want to play like those other DMV. They played George Washington my second year there. We did play against Maryland my second year there. When I was at George Washington. We lost, but that was such a great game. I was expecting them to boo me when I got announced, but they showed so much love.
Yeah, so what happened after your second year at Maryland that you decided to move?
I want to say like Coach Brodus that I mentioned earlier. My coach, he was recruiting me throughout. He left.
Okay.
He became the head coach at Morgan State.
Seems like that happens a lot, where there's a player who goes for a certain coach.
Yeah.
The coach leaves. Yeah. And then it kind of fucks it up. And then
yeah. So he was like the main like DMV recruiter for Maryland. Like he was a guy that would stay in state and like get all the DC guys, Maryland guys. So he got me. He got the Mitchell twins were like top 5, like 4-star recruits back in high school. My bad. Like 4-star recruits back in high school. Got them, so like we were like supposed to be like a great team. And then he went and got the head coaching job at Morgan State. And I kind of like the DMV guys didn't have their DMV guy, you know what I'm saying? So it was like the twins left, I left, so
And where'd you
Yeah.
end up leaving to right
Went
after
to-
Maryland?
I went to George Washington.
You went straight to George
Yeah, I
Washington?
went straight to George Washington. That was during COVID, so that was the year COVID shut everything down. Then we had to come back. Everything was online. No
Right.
in-person classes, whatever. So my first year at George Washington was that first year.
And you got to get another year? For
Yeah,
COVID?
the NCAA gave everyone an extra year, so I was able to get like an extra COVID year that I used for my 5th year.
So I wanted to ask, now in the kind of world of NIL and with guys switching teams all the time, how do you think that would have changed your experience back then? Like maybe some guys going different places, or money's a factor, or maybe tell us about that.
I talk about this with my friends all the time, like especially my friends from like George Washington. We talk about this all the time, how much money we could have made if we had just stayed. Like at least if we had one more year of this eligibility, we could have made so much money. But yeah, I think that's.
Oh, it was the year that you left.
Yeah, it really started exploding.
That's
like
crazy.
really, like everybody really started getting paid, and so we talked about this. And we were like, yeah, I think I probably would have stayed at Maryland if NIL was really as big as it. I would have stayed at Maryland, got a lot of money out of Maryland. I don't know what would happen after that, but I think NIL just changed a lot of what these college kids are doing nowadays. I don't want to hate on it, but like I think it kind of hurts the high school kids a little bit.
Interesting.
I was seeing that it
Yeah.
hurts the high school recruiting now because they be bringing a lot of people from overseas now.
Transfers. I don't know if you guys know, but they just passed a law for let JUCO players, junior college players, to if you play JUCO, you don't lose eligibility, so you can go like D1, D2,
Right.
and you can still have 4 years. So like.
I was actually talking about that with Jimmy Clark because he lost a year from playing JUCO.
Yeah. So now if that rule was established when he was in school,
He would have played at Duquesne another year.
he would have had another year at
Yeah.
Duquesne. So I think it helps a lot. It's great for JUCO kids. No,
Yeah,
don't
for
get me
sure.
wrong. It's great for them. But I think it hurts the high school kids a lot because now it's like unless you're not one of those top kids who's like gonna like bring in the revenue, bring in the like whatever, like then like you kind of get left in the back burner. It kind of sucks for those kids, but like it's great. Like you get to get paid for what you do.
That's true.
Like back in the day, everything was under the table. You guys we all heard the stories and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think it's better now, in a way. But you see all these coaches quitting now and like retiring. So it's like because
Yeah.
of NIL. So you see how much of
The-
NIL has affected.
Yeah.
Has affected everything.
We mentioned that in a past episode. The coach of Virginia, actually,
Yeah.
he left because he couldn't handle it. And I watched a clip, and it was a player who had a great shot, and then he didn't take it. So there was a play designed for a player. He had the play, and he passed the shot up. And the coach in the interview after goes, "Oh, that's what we paid him. That's what he gets paid to do."
Yeah.
And I'm watching like, I can't believe this is college basketball, and the coach is like, he gets paid to make that shot,
He
which is
subbed him out
something
right
you
after
hear
because he didn't take the shot. Yeah.
yeah.
He's like,
So
yeah.
that's kind of changed the whole landscape.
Like you said, like they weren't getting paid before, and these colleges make a shit ton of money
Yo, they
from these
do.
games.
Yes.
So
Especially-
it's good. It's good that they're
Yes.
getting paid now.
Big Ten, and also Maryland. So now, you've left Maryland a while before this happened, but with the realignment of these conferences, you now have teams like Maryland flying across the
UCLA,
country to play UCLA on a Tuesday,
Oregon.
and Oregon when they've got classes and they've got all these kind of things going on. So for the sake of these TV markets and for all this behind the scenes that I have no idea about, who's really suffering here is the athletes. You get the pros of the NIL, but at the same time you're flying.
I remember when I was in Maryland, just traveling to like Iowa or like Michigan was like a pain in the butt. Like I just wanted to be back home. And then I would just imagine traveling like UCLA. I mean, it's Los Angeles. Don't get me wrong, but like you're not really there to like sightsee. At least when I was there, you're not really there to sightsee. You're just in the you're in a hotel. You're relaxing. You're doing what you need to do to get ready for the game. And then as soon as the game's over, you're ending up playing, going back home. So it's like
Yeah, it's a lot. Tolling your body, tolling your.
That's a 4-hour
mental.
flight. So it's like it's a lot.
A bit to digress from the college ball. After you're done at George Washington, when do you start thinking about coming overseas?
So after I finished George Washington, I think that was the plan, just to go straight overseas.
Maybe tell us before that a little bit about the summer league.
Okay,
That was
summer
in
league.
between, correct?
Yeah, so when I graduated George Washington, I didn't get summer league that summer. I went straight to Finland.
Okay.
I had a great season in Finland. A great season. I was able to showcase a lot of skills that I wasn't able to. I believe I wasn't able to show when I was in college, which helped me a lot for like now I'm here in Israel. And then that's so I think Finland's what helped me got the summer league the next summer. I got summer league with the Dallas Mavericks. So went there for like a week before the actual summer league started. Got a lot of good practices. And actually, the head coach from Jerusalem was the assistant.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, he was an assistant. He's one of those assistants. I don't know what the program was specifically, but he was in Dallas with me, in Dallas and then in Vegas. So he was there. So I was able to talk to him. We played him in the preseason and the first game of the season actually. So I kind of have a little connection with him. So that was good. Small basketball world. I didn't even know that until I saw him preseason here.
Like, you look familiar.
Yeah, he called me over. He's like, "Oh shoot, hey, how you doing? I've been seeing you since summer league." Yeah. And so that was great. So yeah, went to Finland, got to summer league. And I'll be honest, I didn't play a lot in summer league, but I think I played like probably 2 out of the 7 games we played.
Maybe you could tell us a bit about how summer league works and like how the rosters are.
Yeah, so let me see. So obviously, like we know, in the summer league, you have your draftees, like the people you draft. Those are the main guys that are gonna play. I was on Dallas, as you know. Dallas in the finals last year, so like they didn't really have like a high draft pick. I think the only draft pick they had there was Melvin Agensa, who plays for Asvel in EuroLeague in France, and right now, and he was like the 55th pick. So we all knew coming in like he was starting. They had Omax Prosper out of Marquette, who was their high draft pick last year. They had Jarek Lively too, but he plays, so he wasn't playing summer league. But he was there a lot during the summer. He was in practice a lot.
That's cool.
So he was there a lot working out. He was also helping us too. So like it was great of him to actually learn from a big and NBA big with finals experience. You don't get that often, so it was great.
I would say
to do for us.
Similar game a little bit.
Derek Lively.
And you?
I'd say more like traditional. I like being on the perimeter.
Yeah.
Perimeter more me. I like being on the perimeter. But, yeah, I respect Derek Lively for doing that for us. You know, he didn't have to.
That's cool.
He didn't have to. It took the time out of his day to help us out, help the bigs out, and I greatly appreciate him for that. I saw Klay Thompson there when he first signed. I will say this. He did not miss a shot. The one workout I saw him do, he did not miss a single shot. That's elite. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, one of the best ever. I mean, people who see him firsthand and tell stories about that.
One of the best. Like I was watching him. Like we was all just watching him. Like everybody. Like we just had a water break and just watching him just not miss a single shot in the whole workout.
So y'all got your like summer league practice, and then you see Klay Thompson on the other court just shooting.
Yeah, I think because he had like his press conference for like when he just signed. So he was like, I just want to get shots up or whatever. And he got shots up. The way the practice court is like they have 2 courts. So like we were on one side. And he was on the other side. He was just in the corner. In the side doing his own thing. They had his staff, whatever, doing rebounding. He was just doing his own thing, just shooting, getting shots up, and just went about his business after that.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool to see a legend like that in
action.
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, I wish I'd seen like Luka and Kyrie, but I think Luka was like in Slovenia, and Kyrie was, I don't know what Kyrie was. Kyrie definitely wasn't there.
So you're advancing from that to go to Finland. So you just mentioned, right, you were able to showcase all these abilities you had in Finland. So tell us about showing up there, maybe some of your expectations that you were correct about, maybe you heard from other people about going overseas, some things you weren't expecting, and how was that transition to that first season of overseas ball?
So I would say this, my first season, I didn't expect to have so much free time. The free time is crazy. So coming from college, like fresh out of college, like I had to worry about practice and then going to class. And I had to go to study hall to get the work done. So it's like that takes up most of my day. But first year in Finland, like 2-hour practice and then you're done for the day. So I was like, I had to get used to that. It's like,
and you're in Finland. So.
And I'm in Finland. So it's like, it's cold. It's cold. They did give us access to the gym. So I was in the gym a lot in Finland. We had a nice little shooting machine. Used that bad boy a lot.
Can't take that for granted overseas.
Could not. Definitely had to use that. Especially when you're just in the gym by yourself. Shooting machine is your best friend. Even though like the net might not catch the ball every time, it's still your best friend. Yeah. But just being in Finland, it's just really just locked in. I was able to just lock in on basketball. You know, started cooking a little bit. Started learning how to cook. You know, called my mom a few times, help with some seasonings, help seasoning advice. But I was in the gym a lot, and I really appreciate what Finland did for me. The coach out there was really able to like see my ability and actually give me the freedom to showcase it. So I really appreciate him for that. And I don't regret going to Finland at all. It's a bit cold, but
Any highlights from there?
Highlights. My first 30-point game was out there, so that's probably the highlight of my season.
Yeah, I saw. I mean, you were like top 5, top 10 in every category, basically playing over there.
Yeah.
So what's that like? Maybe going from playing a little bit of like more of a team role maybe back at George Washington or Maryland, and then showing up in Finland, and the expectation once you start playing really well is like, this is the guy, and we might work through him a little bit. So how did you kind of take that in stride and just be like a leader on that team?
It was, I want to say, you think it'll be pressure, you feel pressure, but like, I don't know, I felt like I was just playing basketball. I was having fun out there. I just wake up in the morning, just look forward to playing basketball. So I think I was just having fun, just be able to go to practice, just play basketball, learn some plays, learn about the European style. I did learn a lot. It's a lot more physical in Europe than I thought it was going to be. I had to get used to that very quickly. The coach had to tell me, like, yo, you can't just barrel in there and expect a call. Like, no, you got to, like, be smart about it. So I was able to learn a lot. But being a main guy, I had a bunch of good Americans, so I didn't really have to, like, I didn't feel like everything was on me.
Yeah, I was going to ask, how's it work with the international players there?
So when I was there, it was me, a guy named Kyle Lofton, went to St. Bonaventure's. I don't know if you guys know. He's in Bamberg right now in Germany.
Any relation to Kenny Lofton?
No, I asked him that. He said they're not related at all. I think that was one of the first questions I've asked him. He's like, no, we're not related. So, no, they're not related. But he was my point guard out there. Then we had, what's his name? Quan Jackson. He's actually in Finland right now still. And Thomas Gibson. He's in Israel, second division. I forgot what team he's playing for, but he's in Israel right now.
It's like how many guys per team out there?
So you can have 5.
Okay.
You can have 5. You can play 4. My bad. You can have 5 on your team, but you can only play 4, and you have to decide who's going to be like that 4th player to play. And but we didn't really have that problem. A lot of our guys were injured, so like if one American was out, all right, the next one would just come in, just play for him, and then unfortunately it was flip flop like that. So like that's unfortunate, like injuries like that. But that's pretty much how it works. Pretty much the same here, unless you have the money to pay for that extra American to play. The teams do it, right. But most of the time you just play 4 Americans, and you just have to decide who plays, if that 5th American plays or not. So
that summer league was last summer.
Yeah.
And then from that summer league, did you get a lot of recognition and like?
Yeah, I did.
More overseas exposure.
Yeah, I got a lot of phone calls coming home after summer league. Got a few calls from France, a few calls from Italy. I was intrigued by Israel because a lot of overseas hoopers that I know back in D.C. was like, yo, Israel's a great place to be. It's a great city. Other than the war, like, you're going to have a great time. Basketball is great. A lot of great players come to Israel to hoop. And the money is not bad either. So it's like, I can't really lose. I just want to play basketball.
So you saw the war and like didn't bother you really?
I mean, it bothered my family a lot more than it bothered me, honestly. But, I'm still here, We're still here, so it's
yeah, for sure.
I don't see a problem with it. I mean, obviously there's a problem with it, but
like, yeah, that's awesome.
But like, I'm good. Yeah.
And how has it been playing here?
It's been fun. It's been fun. New experiences, obviously. My first time just being in like Shabbat really caught me off guard. The first week, I will not lie. The first week, I had practice. It was an early practice, so I'm thinking, all right, I'm chill, order some food. No, everything's closed. There was like, they did warn me, like, get your groceries, like, before. So I did get that. It was like, I wasn't expecting it. Everything's closed. It's quiet. And then there was this one holiday, when you can't drive.
Yom Kippur, probably.
Yom Kippur, like, you can't. There was like, yo, do not drive or you will get in trouble. I was like, what is going on here? I've never heard of something.
That's pretty crazy.
I've never heard of a holiday like this.
But your kind of integration into being here, have you been to some Shabbat meals around here? Yes. So tell us.
The fans here are so great. I mean, the Ness Ziona fans, they're great. They invited me to so many dinners. They made living here a lot better. They gave me baskets for Christmas. Even though Christmas not really celebrated here. Like just for them to think of me, like they know like my family's not here. I'm here like alone, so it's like to spend the holidays with like really just my team, just for them to think of me that way is really great. I've been invited to a few dinners, went to the coach's house for one of the holiday dinners. I don't remember.
There's so many of
There's
them.
a lot.
Don't worry about it.
There was, I think October was one. Was like there's one like every week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there is.
So I was like, they invited me to a few of those. I definitely got invited to a few dinners. It was wonderful. The food is great. The hospitality is amazing. Like, you guys are really great people. So
That's
it's
awesome.
like I couldn't complain. And the food was amazing. So I always went home with like extra takeovers and stuff.
And then
so was
how's it
great.
like? I hear a lot that like the American guys that come over here, they like to chill a lot together, and like
Yeah.
you like see yourself hanging out with a lot of guys on different teams, or mostly like Ness Ziona.
Well, I hang out with a lot of my teammates here, and then I also have a few friends out here from back home who are playing out here. So like, actually, my college teammate Brendan Adams plays for Alone. He's out here too.
So he just broke his leg or
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we've been hanging out with each other since he got here. So, and Darryl Morcell, who was here earlier with Kira Tata, we were hanging out before. He was my college teammate at Maryland. So I have a few friends from out here. I mean, from back home out here. Alex Letter, like we
Right.
talked about earlier. Abe, obviously. Yeah. So I
That's
know
awesome.
I know a few people. I hang out with them, talk with them. Yeah. They
How
come
is
to their
this-
games.
yeah.
I go to their games and stuff like that.
So how would you kind of talk about the differences between here, Finland, and playing for Panama, and then how you do that and how it works, and maybe some things that are different and types of games that you play in this style?
So like difference, I'll say first I'll start with like the difference between Finland and Israel. So, I would say like Israel compared to Finland. Finland has great players, obviously, but like I feel like Israel just buys more into like the basketball more than Finland would. Like I think, like I see like Maccabi Tel Aviv's arena is great. I see a lot of the arenas here are like amazing. A lot of like basketball people, a lot of people like love basketball here. So I think that's great for like the teams here. So like you really get to see the investment a lot of people do. A lot of people here do for basketball. And you can see that through the players, through the programs, through the clubs. A lot of great teams out here. So, and Finland is a bit smaller. You know, it's like a lot of people don't like to go outside. It's snowing outside, so it's like
It's cold.
you just want to be chill. You
This is
wanna
your
be in
first
house.
season out here,
Yeah.
so you don't even know about the summer yet.
No,
or were
I
you
don't.
here?
I was here for like late summer, so I didn't.
Oh, the
I didn't
summers here
get.
go crazy.
I didn't get to see the full Israel summer experience, but I was here for late summer, like late August. So
Yeah.
I didn't get to see it yet. Hopefully, I'll get to see it one day. Hopefully.
This summer.
Yeah.
It's a great time around here. That time of year.
Mhm.
But so talking about what you're playing for Panama and kind of
Yeah.
your experience playing there, and you've really developed within the Panamanian basketball world as you played there in youth, and now you're playing there for their big boys, as you called it. So how do you feel about kind of maybe the future of the team and like where you might go with them, and how much do you enjoy playing with them and being in that world versus playing somewhere else?
Playing with Panama has been great. So
Iverson Molinar also.
I was about to say Iverson Molinar. He's been I think he's had like a crazy few games. Like he's been averaging like 25. He's been hooping lately. So Iverson, Eric Romero from the Tanya is on my Panamanian team.
Oh,
so
boy.
like I think our future is like really really good. I mean, there's Akil Mitchell who's in like Taiwan right now. He's really good, big. Played with my center Jerome in college at Virginia. So I hear a lot of great things about them, and I played with him before a couple summers ago, so I know how good he can be. We're supposed to get a lot of other good players from America, so we'll see how that goes. But I think the future is great. We have good vets right now. Akil Mitchell, like I mentioned earlier. We have Trevor Gaskins, who's in Brazil, one of the top scorers in Brazil. So like, I feel like with those guys like leading the young guys, that's me, Iverson, Eric, and the other guys that I don't know yet, but I've heard will come. So we'll see. But I think the future's bright. We have a lot of talented players, and the new like how do I say the new owners. I guess the new era, like new owners, like people who are like in charge of Panama basketball. I've really seen like they really try to make more. They're trying to put more emphasis on basketball in Panama. Like how I mentioned, like Israel, they like to invest in basketball. Panama, I've been seeing it trying to do that the same way. The gyms are getting better. They're building new gyms. The league has improved. I think one of their Panamanian team leagues had just joined Basketball Americas League. It was one of the top leagues in South America. So I think they're doing good to push the basketball demographic in Panama. So I think with me, Iverson, Eric, and all those other young guys coming up, we can really make basketball in Panama a really big thing. And I think it starts this next FIBA window when we play against Brazil and Paraguay. So
Totally. We just had Ryan on, who, I'm sure you've heard about how he inspires other kids, and even this level of what you're doing, especially this level, I should say, it's like that is when you kind of can really feel the impact you maybe have, because Panama's investing all this money in their basketball program, more time and effort, because they know that they have players that can win and then can do this and inspire kids to do that. So I think a lot of athletes need to realize that's so amazing, and what you're doing and the hard work you're putting in and how that's translating to the national team there. And the reason they're investing in you is because they know how it could help their own players and kids, which is awesome.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
It's awesome. And how are you feeling now in Ness Ziona? How you like the team? What do you kind of like? I know it's hard to think about this during the season, but what are you kind of playing towards? Are you playing towards maybe trying to get back into the G League NBA? Are you playing towards staying in Israel? What are you?
Right now I'm really just trying to make sure like I can play the best that I can for the team. On a two-game losing streak right now, so like just trying to get back on that winning side. I think I try not to look at the standings as much. Just I don't want to get that on my head. Just gotta worry about the next game. But like, I think we're like in a losing record right now, so just trying to like make sure we get back on that winning side. I know the club really wants it; they really need it. So I'm just trying to help the club. But honestly, the ultimate goal, hopefully NBA. Obviously, would love to go back home, play in front of my family again. But if a great opportunity in Israel opens up, I can't not take it. So
I actually have a game question. Yeah. I was at the game last night and I saw during halftime, I don't know if it was on purpose or what, but like they're like, while you guys are shooting during halftime, they're like fixing the shot clock. Like,
that was weird.
Like super slow. Like really weird. And then third quarter starts and the shot clock doesn't even work. So like when you're preparing for the next half, coming off a shaky half, when you have the next half, how do you prepare for the next half? And also, does something like that really affect how you prepare?
Well, honestly, my whole thing with that whole situation is like we were in the locker room for like the first 5-6 minutes of halftime. You could have done it when no one's on the court. That's my whole problem. That's what my whole situation was.
They didn't even start.
They started until they saw we were out there. The whole team was out there shooting. Because I know once the coach stopped talking in halftime, like he left, I sat down there for like a good 2 minutes just to get my mind ready for the second half. And I know I was one of the last guys out the locker room at halftime, and they're just now walking out, taking out the ladders and starting to fix it. I'm like, yo, we were just in the locker room, the whole team. Even Maccabi side was like in the locker room for like the first 5 minutes of halftime.
Yeah. And
then now you want to start doing it. So that's my whole thing. But honestly, once the game started, like I forgot about that. Right. So it's like I forgot about it until you just mentioned it just now, honestly. But yeah, so what was the question?
So like what kind of goes into preparing for the next half? And you just said that you kind of like took 2 minutes to sit and get your mind right. How are you getting your mind right and prepared for the next half?
Well, it's this thing like just sit down and meditate. I'm Christian, so I'll pray to myself, and then just like reflect. Not reflect too much, and like you reflect too much, you start thinking about the negative moments. I don't want to do that. Just reflect on the positive, what we did positively as a team, to get us some stops, to get us some good baskets, just keep putting more confidence in myself. Who I was in the locker room still in there with me, so I'll give confidence to them, just talk to them, and then just get mentally ready for the second half. I know it's a battle. It's Maccabi Tel Aviv. It's always a battle.
Right.
So just get mentally ready to go back on the court, get some shots up, stay warm, so I don't get cold, and I try not to do too much. I don't have like a set routine, but I just have to try to do like the mental, like pray, like just sit down have some time to myself before the game halftime, before I gotta do what I gotta do.
It's cool.
Amazing. So as we're just like kind of wrapping up here, I just wanted to really know more about it because we have so many athletes that have played in so many different places. So what do you feel that's super unique about the game here? That we know that there's a new generation of Israeli players that are coming. A lot of them are really good. And just from us watching, we've been here for 3-4 years, and we've seen how much better the league has gotten. But what's something unique about Israel, maybe even the play style in Israel that you've noticed, whether some Israeli players or just overall something that's unique here you feel like in the game that you might not find in another country or another place?
I would say you want to know like specifically the Israeli players or just the teams?
Yeah, the teams.
The
like
teams.
maybe here.
Okay. So like the teams here, like I want to say really technical. More technical. Probably not as technical as I remember in college. Like, dude, they break down everything. Everything was broken down. But I would say it's probably as technical as college. Well, it's only my second year, so I haven't seen everything yet. But like from what I've known, from what I've seen, from what I know, this is a lot of technicalities. Our coach himself, he likes to break down everything. Like break down, talk it down. Like if this happens in the role, this could happen or this could happen. So you learn a lot. And I think that can really help, especially since I'm so young, only second year playing pro. That can help me, especially if I want to play like NBA or even just EuroLeague, Euro Cup. That can help me a lot in the future. So that's what I've seen a lot from my team here in Ness Ziona and from like the other teams that I'm like 16, 18 games in now. So yeah, I've seen a lot of great teams out here, like a lot of great coaches. The coaches really know what they're doing. Plays that I haven't seen before, like. I gotta watch it on film and then actually playing against it is like, dang, I haven't seen this, but like now that I know, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, I guess.
Yeah.
So
Experience.
Yeah, experience is like really helps.
Right.
It really helps. So
Yeah. So every episode, towards the end, we do a little shot clock segment.
okay.
So we're gonna get like 24 seconds on a shot clock.
All right.
You just gotta rapid fire answers.
Yeah, we made
Right.
we made this joke to Ryan when we had him on the other day, but we did like 2 or 3 of these segments, and then we open our Instagram, we see Ness Ziona did the same exact thing on their media team. So we have a few friends that have worked there in the past. Shout out Josh Azraf, but like he had been around that, so maybe they're watching our stuff. So who knows? That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, actually, I wanted to mention Josh Azraf, one of our guys. He was talking to the GM of the Ness Ziona team while sitting next to, he was sitting next to the GM of the Ness Ziona team at your summer league game talking about you.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Interesting,
Wow.
maybe a little
Well,
plug there.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's wild. And so he was in Vegas when I was. That's wild.
Yeah, you ever heard of the Instagram Hoops?
Instagram hoops.
Hoops Instagram? No.
They're just
probably
one of
seen
the-
it. I've
pro-
probably
definitely seen it.
I've probably
Yeah,
seen
It's great.
it. I get all the basketball
yeah.
highlights. Everything basketball I've seen.
That's
it
all
on
your
my
reels
phone.
on Instagram.
Yeah,
is basketball.
literally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna put up a little shot clock right here.
All right.
And we're gonna go rapid fire questions. You want to start? I start.
Okay, I'm
Before we start, what type of questions are we asking? Just basketball?
Oh, everything.
Everything? All right. See, I had to make sure
we don't
before
want
we
to
get
tell you.
started.
We don't want to
All
tell you
right,
too much.
Yeah.
All right.
But mostly basketball.
All right. Just making sure
All right,
I know what
ready?
I'm getting into. All right.
Ready?
Yeah.
Panamanian food or Israeli food?
Panamanian food. I'm
Favorite
sorry.
player growing up?
Russell Westbrook.
Favorite NBA movie? Favorite basketball movie.
Thunderstruck with Kevin Durant.
Ooh, forgotten NBA player.
Ooh. Jared Bayless. I don't know why I thought of him.
Who's been your biggest mentor in basketball?
Russell Westbrook.
Pre-game routine?
I gotta pray.
Favorite snack?
Healthy? Does it matter? Okay, cookies.
Favorite
cookies.
sneaker? Favorite sneaker?
Sneakers. Jordans.
All right, that's it.
He thought real hard, then said healthy, and then switched to cookies.
Yeah. I wasn't sure like if you got
I'm actually
my
super
God.
surprised you said Thunderstruck. That was like one of my first basketball movies growing
You know
up.
what's crazy? I was on TikTok. I don't know if the TikTok man.
Yeah.
You guys heard about
Yeah,
that?
Oh, I did hear that. Yeah.
So like, I got banned from TikTok for like those 14 hours.
Okay.
So like, for like the first things when I got it back, when TikTok came back, the first thing I saw was Thunderstruck.
No way.
A clip of Thunderstruck, and I was like, yo, that brought back so many memories of when
Yeah,
I
for
first saw
real.
that movie. Like one of the first basketball movies I ever seen. Obviously, like Coach Carter. You've seen Coach Carter.
That's his favorite. That's his
Yeah,
favorite.
Coach
Of
Carter's
course.
a close second, but I don't
Yeah.
know. Thunderstruck was just like KD's. It's like,
That's
yeah,
like a
man.
nostalgic one.
Yeah, really, definitely a nostalgic movie right there.
Classic.
Yeah.
Dude, thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Dude,
like I said again.
we're happy to
Appreciate it.
have
It was
you.
fun. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you. And we just hope anybody who's listening to this, you learned about another story of basketball, and we're happy that we have this platform for you to come on and tell us everything. And best of luck for the rest of the season. We're rooting hard for Ness Ziona. Seriously,
Turn up.
We're
gonna see you in the NBA next year.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thanks again.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.